Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being patient all this while. We're just about to start the proceedings in about 2 minutes. Just 2 more minutes. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I see many faces right into my eyes asking me update, update, update. So let's just make it very simple. We are waiting for the man of the hour to walk in and then we start. And it's pretty weird to look into the eyes of people asking me, when is it gonna start? So I'm just avoiding, I'm looking down here. Let's just say the moment is pretty close. Some people have already got it. Some haven't seen him yet, but I'm sure it's going to get a little louder once you see him. And there's the first sight that you get, ladies and gentlemen. The one and only Ruskin Bond with us. Hello, sir. And yes, this standing ovation. Oh my God, this is a moment. Let it be a little more louder, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a pretty long time you've been waiting. Thank you so much for all the patience that you've had. And a very warm welcome, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, guys and girls, kids there, and the dignitaries here. You could be seated now. And now we have no scope of stopping. So from now, the show starts. The show begins now. And to catch a glimpse of another person here, we have Mr. Chetan Bhagat with us. So now are we ready for it? I don't hear your voices. Are we ready for it now? You know, a small child can make noise better than what all of you together made. So can we have this one unanimous big noise? Are we ready for it now? And that is a good noise. Well, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, good evening, everyone. And it's very rightly said, it's only when the day sets down, rises a star. And today, it's not just about one star. It's about so many people over here. And you know what's going to happen. And yes, it is very much about that side. It's the Lifetime Achievement Award, which has been given to the one and only Ruskin Bond. So can we have a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen? This one day is not just about attending the festival. We ourselves are a part of history. So when you go back home, 10 years down the lane or 15 years down the lane, you can very proudly say, you know, that day, it wasn't just Mr. Ruskin Bond getting the award. I was also there. So it's a moment of pride for everyone in here. And now officially, let's begin. Sir, by your permission, should we go for it? And there comes a big yes. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome all. I hope this 3 days of purest essence of literature that we have had. Now it comes to the hour of conclusion. Did you all enjoy this? And if there's a single no coming, please meet us after the show. So now, let's start this session. The Real Bond. I wonder why so many movies were made when the title had to come this side, The Real Bond. Let's start this one session with a reading by Anahita Uberoi. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for Anahita Uberoi. Welcome, ma'am.
Should I sit here? Okay. Actually, it's such an honor, really, to be able to stand here and read your work in your presence. It's delightful. This piece is an article that was written by Ruskin Bond, which, while it was written many years ago, it is so delightful. It rings true today. It's going to ring true for all you kids someday. It's really fabulous. It's called Life Begins at 50. Almost 20 years ago, I wrote a piece called Thoughts on Becoming 30. I remember feeling pretty old at that time. Well, the years have rolled by, much to my surprise. And like many of my contemporaries, have acquired a few rolls of fat and a certain stiffness in my joints. I can no longer do my tap dance routine as well as I used to, but I think I can say that on the whole, I feel a little younger. Why is that, I wonder? I realize that after a certain age, we start regressing towards a second childhood. But I thought that happened at 60 or 70 and not on the verge of 50. Perhaps, in my case, the process has been speeded up and I am already approaching senility. Although another theory put forward by one of my best friends is that mentally, I have never really advanced beyond the age of 12. Whatever the reason, I still have my own teeth, always a little bucked, which may have helped, and I can still walk 5 miles a day, provided it's a nice day. And I can still turn out 1,000 words a day, and here they are, not making too much sense, I admit, but not totally moronic either. So let's just say I'm young at heart. And why these thoughts on reaching 49? Why not wait until I'm 50? Well, by the time next summer comes around, I may not be in the mood for such swinging thoughts. See, Taurians go to grass in May. But my numerologist tells me that 49 is an unlucky number. 4 plus 9 is equal to 13. He may be right. I remember the night I refused to spend the night in a hotel room because it was numbered 13. No, I went out of the town. Not this town. Visited a few bars, walked through a plate glass window, and ended up in a police cell. The cell number was 13. We can't escape our destiny. But 50 is a lucky number. He tells me. He says 5 plus 0 is equal to 5. Is that new maths or old? Only 1982 isn't so good, he says. It seems you can't win at the numbers game. The only certainties are dust and ashes. I suppose the charm of being 49 lies in still being able to say, I'm in my 40s. Whereas once 50 is reached, you can only look forward to 10 years of saying, I'm in my 50s. And the vista no longer seems endless. The end of the voyage is constantly approaching, and while it's always a moving experience to have one's first glimpse of land, or heaven as the case may be, there is something about this misused planet that rather attracts me. Maybe it's just my magnetism. The astrologer and numerologist who also heals with magnets tells me I have strong magnetic poles. Or did he say souls? And that being Taurian, element earth, there is a strong magnetic pull on me by the earth's centrifugal forces. He may be right. As a boy, I was always falling off ponies and cycles and out of trees, no doubt because Mother Earth wanted me nearer to her bosom. Even today, I find it easier to fall out of bed than simply to climb out. I started off with the intention of writing a serious essay, but instead of playing Hamlet here, I am playing the fool. Get a grip on yourself, Bond. You're nearly 50 and you still haven't started facing life with the earnestness and dedication that it demands. How can you expect to succeed at anything? Don't you want to be a winner? Walk into and out of 5-star hotels as though you owned them, or simply own them. Sun yourself with the movie stars on Fort Aguada Beach, or be a movie star. Ride in a yellow limousine, or is it a submarine? And pay your bills with a flourish of the pen. Frankly, I don't. But who wants to be a loser? Not I. And losing for me means being forced to do the things I dislike doing, such as walking in and out of 5-star hotels, or simply owning them, etc. Wherein then lies the secret of happiness? In being, I suspect, more than a little indifferent to those things desired by most of mankind: power, prestige, accumulated wealth. If one were to sit down and make a list of the inessentials in one's life, it would be a pretty long list. Be it fame or a new suit, let it fall away. Because only by depletion can we buy serenity. And so I shall launch myself into my 50s with a single change of clothes, no change of friends, a few old books, and my long-suffering typewriter. Like Charlie that tramp, I shall walk into the sunset with a jaunty air, hoping for a little romance and adventure. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. I always wish I could read like her. Anyways, moving on to the real Bond session, and the second biggest thing happening today is the Times of India felicitating Mr. Ruskin Bond with the Times of India Lifetime Achievement Award presented by Brook Bond Taj Mahal, after which we have an hour of conversation of Ruskin Bond with one of his biggest fans, who himself has many fans, Mr. Chetan Bhagat. So ladies and gentlemen, this is how the things proceed today. But even before we can go ahead, let me give you an introduction to the person we're talking about, the man of the hour. Mr. Ruskin Bond. Born in Kasauli, Himachal Pradesh in 1934, Ruskin Bond grew up in Jamnagar, Dehradun, New Delhi and Simla. His first novel, The Room on the Roof, written when he was just 17. Since then, he has written over 500 short stories, essays and novels, and more than 40 books for children. He received the Sahitya Academy Award for his writings in India in 1993. Then he received the Padma Shri in 1999 and the Delhi government's Lifetime Achievement Award in 2012. And shall we not make a mention of the fact of the Times of India Lifetime Achievement Award today and this hour? Give a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Moving on to the second person, and the very important person as well, Mr. Chetan Bhagat is the author of 6 blockbuster novels: 5 Point Someone, One Night at the Call Center, The 3 Mistakes of My Life, 25 States, Revolution 2020, and What Young India Wants. His books have been adapted into Bollywood movies and remain on the bestseller list. Now, ladies and gentlemen, to present the Lifetime Award, we have with us Ms. Bachchi Karkaria, the Festival Director, Ms. Namita Devi Dayal, Associate Director. Joining them is Ms. Geetu Verma, Executive Director, Foods, Hindustan Unilever Limited. And now is the hour, and now is the moment. All the 3 days we waited for this. Let's have them on stage with a big round of applause. Let's welcome Mr. Ruskin Bond, Mr. Chetan Bhagat, Ms. Bachchi Karkaria, Ms. Namita Devi Dayal and Ms. Geetu Verma on stage. And let the applause be high enough. Louder, louder, louder. Well, at least an entire Bandra should know there's something happening today over here. Bring it on, louder. Well, not every Sunday evenings go so special when you actually see someone who's written more than 500 short stories. Well, now, ladies and gentlemen, may I please call upon... Thank you. Now, I request Ms. Bachchi Karkaria to felicitate Mr. Ruskin Bond with a Monte Grappa pen and the Lifetime Achievement Award certificate. Ladies and gentlemen, this has to be the loudest round of applause. Miss Bachchi Karkaria felicitating Mr. Ruskin Bond with a Monte Grappa pen and the Lifetime Achievement Award. Well, the certificate there. I just read something about him. He said, your past is something that seeds your present. And very much, this moment is doing the same for him. Over 500 books. This is something that's very special. And why do the applauses stop? It has to go on and on and on and on and on. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Bachi ma'am. I request Namita Devi Dayal to felicitate Mr. Ruskin Bond with a caricature portrait by Neelab. And this is one interesting caricature that we're going to come across. Miss Namita Devi Dayal to felicitate Mr. Ruskin Bond with this caricature. And yet again, the applause have to go up. And last but not the least, I request Ms. Geetu Verma to felicitate Mr. Ruskin Bond with a Brooke Bond Taj Mahal gift. Well, this is one sight we're not going to forget until and unless we somewhere lose our memories. All done, all said. The biggest possible round of applause comes up now. And yes, it's a true moment. We aren't dreaming. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And now, thank you so much, ladies. And now we move on to the second segment of the day, in which we have your favorite, Mr. Chetan Bhagat, who claims his favorite to be Mr. Ruskin Bond, in conversation for an hour. So are we ready for this hour now? You know what? This doesn't sound too loud. Are we ready for this hour? Chetan Bhagat in conversation with Mr. Ruskin Bond, and the kids over there.